Lakers at 49. Shannon has them at 56. Do you agree with any of this?
I'm certainly much closer to Shannon, 56. And if they went all out, they're definitely winning more than 56. But I think 55, 56 will be around there. I don't see under 50 because, we know they're not going to go all out
That
in the regular season.
It's over.
Right. There's no way. I'm saying it. Right now, no way they don't win 50 games, unless there's major injuries to their star players. But I agree with the executive who says a lot has to fall in place for them to win. However, I don't agree to the point where the Lakers are a long shot. Like, they're no long shot to win it next year. I think they're the second best team in the league right now. And so I think the regular season record, they may be the 4th seed, they may be the 3rd seed. Like, I don't see, regular season is going to be about chemistry building, load management, getting the rotation right, and all of that. So they're not going to have a
and that equals
tremendous
56 wins?
Yeah. 54, 55 wins.
Because 2 plus 2
I'm gonna say,
equals 2.
If you want to hold me to a record, I'm going to say 53 to 54 wins.
Well, which is it?
I'll say 54 wins.
Okay, 54 and 56.
wins.
You want to go up?
No.
Well, he was stoking your fire.
But I love how these execs say injuries are concerned. What about Kawhi? Who's been injured?
Well, why is it always about somebody else? You always have to change the subject to somebody else.
Because everybody keeps saying everything has to fall right.
Right.
What fell right for Toronto last year? Something always has to fall right.
I do think there are more question marks about this Lakers team than most teams, than the Clippers team. That's why I think the Clippers are better. Here's the question marks. Number one, health. As you said, it's for every team. However, it's more so for the Lakers. Number one, your best player, LeBron's in his 17th year. He's coming off an injury. So I'm just saying, you have to see how it works out. Anthony Davis, in 7 years, has only played 70 or more games twice. Let's see how that works. Avery Bradley, why was he still on the market? Because the last 3 years, 55 games, 46 games, 63 games 3 years ago. So his last 3 years, he's been injured. And not to mention Boogie. Second thing, they have to accept roles. What if Boogie doesn't start or finish? Is he going to be... Boogie wants to, understandably, showcase himself. Right. So he can get this big deal. So
I thought he was doing that last year, but go ahead.
What if Kuzma isn't happy with the role, if he's not the definitive third guy? So they have to accept roles. Coaching situation. We know that LeBron, number 1 choice, Ty Lue. Who's number 2 choice? The assistant coach, Jason Kidd. So do they buy into, not just LeBron, but do they all buy into Frank Vogel? I mean, I think one reason Toronto was able to win it was because Kawhi, as much as he didn't want to be in Toronto, as much as he nor anybody else knew what Nick Nurse could do, he just bought in. And we're going to do what we do. So there's that. Then drama. We know LeBron, look, I just talked about David Griffin about this all the time when he was in Cleveland. And how, remember, there was always drama, and he said, we don't like when things are just perfect. And we thrive in chaos.
We don't like prosperity.
Right, we don't like prosperity. We thrive in chaos. And they did. And who sets that culture? LeBron. And they do. He does. What's his greatest victory? Coming back from 3-1 down against a 73-win team. He thrives in it. But does Anthony Davis thrive in it? Does Boogie thrive in it? Does Rondo thrive in it? Kuzma, and I don't see why there's volatility on the roster. But I'd love to see a drama-free season. I mean, but will we? These are all the things that have to fall in line for them to win it.
So, we just heard Chris Broussard, who once wanted to be a preacher and still could be a preacher. We heard him preaching about all the issues that could befall this team or confront this team. But we heard, right out of the box, we heard 54 wins.
54.
So it doesn't add up to me. I agree with every point you just made because I opened the show making every last point you made. It doesn't add up to 54 or certainly to 56.
49?
But guess,
49?
Let that sink in for a second. That's how talented we are. With all these question marks, he got 54. So if we cross out 2 of the 4 question marks, what we ask Skip Bayless, you count, might be 60. 61, 62.
You want to go up? Go ahead.
I want to talk.
No, go.
You go. You go.
Go.
You go ahead. I want to talk.
No, I want to hear you talk yourself into 58.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
Come on, go to the big 6-0. Go for it.
Nope.
It sounds a lot better. Say 60.
Because
then you got some guts.
We're on a load management. And I told you, LeBron James going to miss somewhere between 10 and 15 games. I believe Anthony Davis will miss somewhere between 8 and 10, 8 and 12 games. So I don't believe they'll miss the same games, but when the other guy's out, I have no question the other guy can step up. But will Boogie be Boogie when one of those guys are missing? Will Kyle Kuzma step up and show growth in year 3 that we saw some in year 2?
Okay.
So, well, I'm good.
Okay. I'm not good because I'm going to go back to Brian Windhorst's piece because there's a lot of yin and yang in here. There's a lot of real pro and a lot of real con. And one of the early real cons came from an anonymous scout who says, if they stay healthy, the Lakers, they have a playoff lineup now. And I told Shannon earlier, but that's like, that's damning with faint praise. It's like, that's all you got is a playoff lineup? So you got the 8th seed if everybody's healthy? Is that what we're saying? That's how that came across?
I think what I interpreted that as when they get to the playoffs.
Okay.
Oh, they're going to be tough. Because they're slower, bigger.
I will give you that.
Slows down.
I'm going to remind everybody they went 37-45 last year with a very different roster, but with the same superstar, the quote-unquote best player on the planet, right in the middle of it. He started 55 games, did LeBron James last year, and he went 28-27. And when he activated early into playoff mode in late March, what happened? They lost 12 out of 15 games. And they finished at 37-45, 11 games worse than a Clippers team that did not have number 2 or Paul George. Just for the record, let's put it in that perspective. I'm going 12 games better than that. So you say 49? Well, I'm going all the way up to 40. Yes. I'm going high. I'm going glasses half full.
I'm going 19 better.
49.
Okay.
19.
Go 22 better. Why not?
No, 19.
Come on. Oh, come
19.
on.
That's really low.
Okay, now we get to all these issues. They're going to get off to a slow start because every time LeBron starts over, they start slow. Am I right? It just happens everywhere he's gone. They started really slow. Okay,
but he been in LA for a year.
Okay, but not with these guys.
I don't really see. I would be a little surprised.
This is a brand new team with a brand new coaching staff.
But look at the talent.
Okay, but wait a second.
AD.
Okay, so he didn't want Frank Vogel. He finally endorsed Frank Vogel just out of necessity. It's like Plan D. Or
we ain't endorsing.
Okay, well, you went to the opening media session.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Stood with your back to the wall because your back is to the wall next year.
No, here's the other thing, though, Skip. In the East, he knew he always had that cushion. You could start slow in the East. Last year, he was welcome to the West. Like you can't do that in the West.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. He's going to test Frank Vogel early. And Brian Windhorst points out Frank is not a confrontational sort of guy. But there's going to be a lot of passive-aggressive testing between the two of them. It may manifest itself on social media. LeBron will tweet or post something on IG that be between the lines like, what does that mean? Was that a shot at Frank Vogel?
LeBron's not confrontational either.
Okay, well, he's not because he does it sort of through the media back to you. Right? There'll be quotes after the post-game quotes.
Oh, we hit it with that bowl like we did Spoelstra when we walked by him.
Well, you might hit him.
You got it with that bowl. Hey, he acted right from here on out.
So I've already predicted. I don't think Frank Vogel will last the year next year because of Jason Kidd. Because LeBron loves Jason Kidd.
They don't need.
Okay, but again, maybe that's the fire starter for them. Maybe that's the flashpoint from which they take off, where they just simply elevate the guy who's sitting in the second
But see, I'm going to be disappointed if that's the case because we could have took off and been at a safe, comfortable cruising altitude with Ty Lue.
Okay, explain that to me. I can't. Okay, LeBron chose to play for these people. Now he's stuck with these people, although he runs the franchise.
He don't run. Stop saying that.
They have influence. He and Rich Paul obviously influence. If they ran it, Ty Lue would be coach.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
He would got 5 years off.
So now you have early chemistry issues. Who plays when, where, who do you close with? It's hard because it's such a new group of players with two big egos as the two. I told you yesterday, the two big X factor, DeMarcus, Kuzma. How do they fit them in? How do they play them? Who closes? Kyle Kuzma, I love Kyle Kuzma, but he's got a big ego and he's got a green light in the back of his head because he's just going to shoot it whenever he touches it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to figure him out. Where does he fit? Is he the closer? He could be the closer. And then finally,
ain't no closer with LeBron James on the floor. Stop it.
LeBron is not a closer. LeBron should have closed 8 games before Christmas that he failed to close. You know it, and I know
we
it.
know he to close.
Okay, so if Kuzma is on the floor to close with DeMarcus, then I got the best question of all. Who plays defense on this group? Because those two guys are defensively challenged.
It's hard for me to believe that both of those guys will be on the court.
Well, I don't know.
I don't see DeMarcus in the closing.
Okay, will he be happy with this? If he sees himself as a star, he made 5 All-Star teams and he's not on the floor?
That DeMarcus is gone.
Okay, well,
now,
maybe in your mind.
Hopefully he can start to come back, start to show signs of coming back.
Okay.
But that DeMarcus is not there right now.
Okay, now we're back to nobody plays defense who counts. Like LeBron, it's just an afterthought. And I give you this. He's just too old to sit in a chair, as you say. He's not going to give you that on both ends. He can pick his spots occasionally,
right.
But there are times when Kyle Kuzma, who plays little to no defense, has to shove LeBron out.
He did that one time. You make it seem like he does this on a nightly occurrence.
It was one of the best plays Kyle Kuzma made all year. I loved it. Saved the game.
You're forgetting AD. AD plays defense.
He plays
Danny Green, Avery Bradley.
Are they going to be?
Kuzma's, that's his next step. He can play defense. He's going to have to play defense.
Are you going to play 8 guys at once, or how are you going to do this?
Look.
Maybe you could do it where 8 guys are on the floor and some stay on one end and the others go play off.
What was Magic Johnson's closing lineup? You saw the great tweet.
Oh, it was
Avery
great.
Bradley, Danny Green, LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma, Anthony Davis. 3 of those guys are staunch defenders.
Okay, good.
And 2 of them can let them threes go. So when we penetrate, take that Danny Green.
And I think Kuzma, I got faith in
I can't
Kuzma
wait until the first day you come in here saying, what is Danny Green doing? Because I've lived with Danny Green for many years in San Antonio. It comes and it goes.
I just live like the playoff with Danny Green.
Yeah.
And we already know. He might get you 15, he might get you 2.
Okay, so here's my bottom